My name is Nick Grimaldi, and I'm here today to introduce you to a lure that I have developed. One is patented and the other one is patent pending. They're both made for top water. One is made for the weeds and the other one is made for just surface lure. This lure here is called the Spinning Weed Dancer. This lure, I'm going to show you what it looks like in the water right now. I'm on a New York City reservoir. Today's date is 5/25, May 25th, 2012. I'm going to give you an illustration of how this lure works through the weeds. And my other lure, which I designed, developed, and made, is also patented, and this lure is called the Buzzing Hitchiker. Now this lure goes above the weeds. It's a surface lure, and the thing that's about this is that you got a spinner, you create bubbles, it has the action, and you also have the line out of the water, which is a good feature. So I'm going to illustrate both of these lures right now. We're in a spot here, and I'm going to show you first the Spinning Weed Dancer, and then I'm going to show you the Buzz and Bud bait in action. Now, I just started fishing here, so I'm going to see what happens here. So I'm going to show you the main point is I'm going to show you how it works. And with this lure, sometimes when the fish attack, they'll hit the front of the bait or they'll hit the back, but either one, you got a very good chance of catching them. What's good about this is that this is a type of a lure that these fish have never seen before, and most of you out there have never seen it either. This lure catches fish. It doesn't look too impressive, but it catches fish and it works. I've been working on this lure now for years, and that's all I use in my tackle box. In fact, that's all I fish with. I've made this one for the surface, this one for the weeds, and I have a subsurface lure. This is my tackle box. But one tray in the tackle box. As you can see, that's all I have. Now, what I do is this. Depending if I'm in a situation where there's weeds, which is where I am right now, I'm going to use the Weed Dancer. If there's no weeds, I'll use the Buzzing Hitchiker. Either way, you got a good shot at catching fish. But what I'm trying to bring out is that you cover all different areas. That's the important thing. You want to be able to fish. How many times have you had a lure, you never can get it in there? You know that there's a fish there, but you can't get them out. Problem is, that's the reason why I designed these lures. The fish will come out of the weeds, they'll come up to the surface, and they will hit the lure. I used to make wooden lures. I don't make them anymore. It's too much work, and it's the same conventional. These fish have seen so many different lures, and you know, after a while they get educated. First thing you know, you don't catch nothing anymore. The reason is because they already know. They get frightened with it. They say they don't have a memory. I don't know about that. I've seen a lot of fish that will come up, they see something, you don't know whether you're fishing behind somebody or not. He might have just gone in there. When I go in there, I fished behind two people one time, two boats with two people each. And I was catching fish, and they were in front of me, and they was hitting the same areas that I was hitting. So this is the reason why I developed these lures. You could put on here a lizard. You could put on here a small, they call this, this is by wave fishing, it's called a monkey. And they have in different colors. Now this one here is dynamite when it comes to smallmouth or in the beginning of the season. This is excellent. You have to work it by casting it, holding the rod tip up. Don't close the bail the second that it hits the water, so you just lift it up. Don't let it go plunk into the water. Hold it up and use it like that. Just, it comes down, just feather it, taps the water, and start moving it with slight twitches on the retrieve. Now, if you get a pickerel that's coming after it and you see it, Slow the lure down. He might have come out and hit it. He missed it. Don't pull it away from him. Slow it down. He thinks that he injured it. Now he has a better shot of hitting it the second time. Hold it in the water or near the water. Just let it dangle off the back of the boat. You don't know how many times I've caught pickerel like that because they think that they injured it. Now, the good thing about this is that you can put on different bodies. They're designed for that. And what you do is, when you want to take off the body, all you have to do is this. I have a clip in the back. This is a new design that I just came out with. I thought of this here because the average person doesn't have a pair of what they call split ring pliers. So what you do is this. You open the clip up like that. You open it up, slide the clip off like that. That comes off with the hook now. You take the rubber body and you just slide it straight back. Now, when you want to put the body back on again, what you're going to do is this. You keep the body straight between your finger and forethumb. Put it on sideways so that the rear is up like that. Push it in straight. Come up straight with it. Just like this. And when you get all the way up to the tip of the front stabilizer, then what you do is you twist it down, center it where it comes out, and push it through. Just enough where you can catch hold of the back loop. Now you take this piece, you snap it, just push it back in again like that, and you close the clip. That's how simple it is. Now, with this, they come in, you can put a lizard, you could put a snake, you could put a, there's so many different bodies on here. The main thing is that if the body on it is flat, they usually work the best. Here's a snake here that I have. You see the flat side is down. It has to be in the middle also. That hook got to come out in the middle, just like that. The main reason is that when this is in the water, that's going to run true. It's not going to flip. You don't want it to flip. You want that to run true in the water, just like a natural lure, like a natural snake rather. It's not a natural snake doesn't flip. He goes straight. And this is what the fish see. You're giving them what they want. Now, if you got the right color, you got the right date, you got the right weather and the timing, you're going to catch fish like you never did before. So that's another illustration. The other thing is with this particular lure is that when you cast it, it hits the water, you feather it up, you are, not only are you got a beautiful cast, but also you got the line out of the water. The fish don't see the line. The only thing the fish see is the lure hitting the water. That's all they see is the body and the movement. They might get a what they call a responsive strike. He'll hit it immediately, or they might follow it. Now, if they follow it, what I've noticed is you got to give it light twitches. Now, I hold the rod tip up at 11 o'clock. I come down. I have that bill. I bring the rod tip up like this. And I got a 7-foot rod. This is a Loomis rod, NRX. It's a medium fast action, and it's a little expensive, but I'll tell you, the way I fish with it, it's worth every dime. And I have a Shimano spinning reel, which I use only braided line. Use braided line. If you use the other line, it could snap. Or with this here, it has no stretch. You could just give it a hook set up like that. These are very sharp hooks on here. Everything is designed to catch fish. Like I said, I did not design this lure to sell. I designed this lure to catch fish. Everything that on here, every bend, every hook, every movement is designed to catch fish and full of fish, and it works. I've been fishing with it now for 10 years, and my other lure, which I designed about 6 years ago, I've been working on that, the dancing spinner, and that one for the weeds, and I've just finished it this year, and it works beautiful. The thing that's good about these is that you can get these in spots where nobody else can go. So I'm going to give you an illustration right now. I'm going to show you what the dancing spinner does, and then I'm going to show you what the buzzing hitchhiker does. This is to educate you. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any one of these lures, they are handmade. I make them all by hand, no factory. I'm not a dealer. I'm just an average fisherman who catches fish, and I enjoy fishing. I put them all back. I don't keep them unless my wife is hungry or whatever. But most of the time I respect the fish, and I put them back. I release them immediately as soon as I can, and I just enjoy it. It's very relaxing, and if you got a high blood pressure problem or any other kind of problems that you have, when you start enjoying fishing, and the best part is if you start catching fish, which is what you will do with these lures, you're going to be happy and you'll be back to buy more. So these I make all by hand. If you're interested in purchasing any of them, these I sell for $8 each, and that comes with one body, and you can buy your own bodies from me or from the dealer, it doesn't matter. But you use the same lure over and over and over again, as long as you don't hang it up in a tree or a rock or something where you can't get it back. Now, the other one goes for $15, and that's each. The buzzing hitchhiker is $15, and that's shipped, $15 each. If you buy them in quantity, I'll give you a better price. But you can give me a call at, you could email me at mrngny@aol.com. mrngny@aol.com. Now I'm going to give you an illustration of what this looks like in the weed area. So, let's see what we can show you. Here we are. We have the typical weeds over here. We're on the edge of them. The problem is we're going against the wind right now. And you see how that cushioned? I just brought it down. You don't let it sink. Just let it touch the top of the water and lift the rod tip up. This is one lure you don't have to be afraid of holding it in the weeds. You'd be surprised how many times I've caught fish. See, I got that bail shut just as it hits, and I pull it up. I lift it up. That's something that you got to practice with. Now, with this particular lure, what I would suggest you do is if you do purchase these, is that you go fishing one day and don't use nothing but this lure. Don't use it. Use it like this is the only lure you have. This way here you can get acquainted with it, and you'll be able to get the idea of what I'm talking about. And once you got that knack, just remember to retrieve, remember how you used it, and you'll be surprised how you'll catch. Now what I do is I always go for the outer weeds first, and then I bring it into the weeds. You don't have to be afraid with this lure. This lure is designed so that it's going to go over the weeds. As long as the most important thing is how you cast it. And that is that when you close the bail, just close that bail down. The minute it touches and lift it up, don't let it sink, as I'm doing right now. You see how that works right through the weeds? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move down here a little bit more, and I'm going to fish with this lure a little bit more aggressively. It's a good search bait too, by the way. This searches fish for you, and it's a very good lure as far as if you're in a hurry for searching and catching. They'll come up, and if they miss it, throw it back again. You'd be surprised. You might have to slow it down a little bit when you throw it back. Now, we just picked up a little bit there because that was on a branch. There's no such thing as completely weedless. I don't care what kind of lure you have, but all you can do is give them a lure that you can try to make as weedless as possible. Something that'll cut through. See the way I'm bringing that in right now? That's the way you got to bring it, just like that. See how that dances right through the weeds? You're letting the plastic body is doing most of the action, and then the top is controlling it. So what you have is a combination. You got a combination of 3 different laws working on this one law. Like I said, nothing is 100% weedless, and I'm not going to fool you, but it cuts the weeds. So you just got to check it. Now, if you got a weed on it, if a weed goes on this law, take it off immediately. You get a little piece of weed on here, you'd be surprised that I'll never hit it. What I'm doing wrong right now is that I'm going with the wind, and I should be throwing it into the wind, because that way it looks more natural. The other way, it doesn't look as natural. So you might have a little bit of a delay, or you might have a fish that might turn away from it. Right now, you see I'm searching out these weeds here. Look at how that cuts right through there. Believe me, if there's a pickerel in there, or there's a bass in there, he will come up and rip this lure like you were never seen. And the best thing about it is, it makes everything more exciting when it's in the weeds. And you're fishing in the weeds, you're searching the weeds, you're fishing the weeds, and before you can't do that. You can do it with a rubber worm, but the thing is, it takes too long. Okay, now we put it back in here. Now I haven't found the fish. So, another thing with any kind of lure, when you're casting like this, and this is very important, is accuracy. You got to get that lure into a spot where you have an idea where he's going to be hiding, and you'd be surprised. The accuracy is what you need. You got the right presentation. All you got to do is find the fish and get it into that strike zone. See how it's cutting right through the weeds? We're not right on the fish right now. That's the reason why they're not hitting. Because you'd see a follow through, or you'd see one swirl on it. My point is, I'm trying to show you how the lure itself works. I have other videos that I had where I was catching fish with it that I can send you if you're interested. All you have to do is request it, and I'm going to give you, I'll send that to you to show you. But this video is mainly to show you how it works, how to cast it, there you go. Oh, that was a good pickerel. Now you see, he just missed it. So what you do now is you come back. Now I could throw this one back again, or I can throw out the buzzing hitchhiker, but there's weeds there. I don't want to kill the mood. I got to do this immediately. When you get a strike like that and they come back and they miss it, now normally if there wasn't weeds sitting in front of me right now, what I would do is I would let it sit there on the edge. Let me slow it down a little bit. He might have went right underneath those weeds. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw out the buzzing hitchhiker. I can get it on the edge where there's no weeds. Let's see how that works. What did I put? give them the same color because they seem to like that color today. Now, here's what we do here. We bring this on the inside of the weeds first. That way the pickerel thinks that it got away and it went in through the other side of the weeds. See how that works in the water? That's important. Bring it back out. There it is. Oh boy, this is a nice fish. Oh yeah. You see now he hit the buzzing hitchhiker because it has more action and it works slower. Yeah, this is a good pickerel. Yeah, he's very mad too. Come on up here, buddy. And now the wind blows me, just what I needed. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Come on up here. See why it's important to have this fire line? That's what I'm talking about. I want line that I'm not going to worry about. I even have a leader on here. That's a nice fish. If I didn't have the two lures that I just have right now, I don't think I could have caught this fish. This lure has never failed me. Look down, make sure he has no hooks or nothing. That's a good pickerel. See, that's the kind of fish that you're going to catch with this kind of lure. I've caught bass, pickerel, everything. Smallmouth, largemouth. I put them back. I just check to make sure they have no hooks on them or nothing. Some people that let them break their lines. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. Get back in here where you belong. You like that frog, huh? Yeah, okay. That's what I'm talking about. If you're interested in any of these lures, email me. My name is Nick Grimaldi. Email me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And I'll help you out to be a better fisherman. And thank you for viewing this video. God bless you.